You don't want to give us a release date or?
Yeah, so Xbox is releasing later this year.
Brendan Greene, it's a pleasure and an honour to meet you. Thank you so much for being on Screenplay.
Thanks so much for having me. It's an honour to be here.
For gamers that have been living under a rock, can you
Sure.
please explain what is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds?
So PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is a Battle Royale style game mode. So a last man standing deathmatch essentially, where we put 100 people onto an island. They have to scavenge for weapons and other equipment and then stay inside this ever decreasing play area to get that wonderful chicken dinner, as they say.
How are you processing the success of this game?
Not processing is the easiest way. Like really, the success we've seen has been so insane. You know?
It's the most played game on Steam now,
right?
officially.
Like by quite a large margin now, which is so. I never expected this. So like I think right now, no, I just keep plowing forward and meeting fans and making games.
What was your initial vision for the game? What did you hope it would do and bring to the community?
Like originally when I started making like the Battle Royale game mode way back in Arma 2, it was all about testing a player against other players. It was that sort of random, unique match every time, and that developed more and more through Arma 3 and now into Battlegrounds. And it's the whole concept is that I want a different game every time, and I want to test you to see if you're a more tactical or strategic player than someone else. Like even if you have a frying pan, you should still be able to win, right? That it might be tough, but if you're a good enough player, you can do it, right?
Even just having a frying pan, because it's bulletproof, right?
Yes.
Somebody asked if you'd be wearing your butt pan today for protection.
No, I think it'd weigh me down and my back would be very sore after that. And that was all a mistake. Like we didn't intend to make the frying pan bulletproof. We did a test internally. I asked the content programmer, I said, can you make a frying pan bulletproof? And he said, yeah, sure. And we tested it and it worked. It's like, okay. And then we forgot to take it out of the live build and it went to the live servers. And now we have a bulletproof frying pan. And it was never kind of intended to be pushed. But
were you sort of looking at the model of DayZ and seeing how successful that went, you know, out of Arma and
to an extent, I'd seen the Survivor Games, which was an event run on the DayZ mod, and I'd seen that and kind of went, okay, I like this idea, but I can't play it because it's streamers only, and I saw some things that I thought I could improve, so that's when I set out to make Battle Royale, because it was a game I wanted to make, or a game I wanted to play, right? I loved the DayZ and I loved the PvP element of that, and compressing it into like a short, like 50 or 40 minute round, I thought, okay, this is what I want to play. So that's kind of where it came from. I wanted to play a game, and I made the game, and other people just happen to like it too, which is, I count myself lucky.
Some of the best games come out of that. You create something that you love and other people love it too.
Look at the biggest games in the last 10, 15 years, like CSGO, Dota, League almost, and like these all come from mods, you know, and they all come from people that are not like limited by either an exec level or people telling them this is the game you have to make. It's just they're making a game they want to play themselves, and now they've released, you know, now we have some of the biggest games in the world thanks to just modders, you know, which I think speaks volumes about how powerful modding can be.
We had another question on Twitter, a person who wanted to ask about cheats and...
Oh, like it's a never-ending battle. We're building new systems internally to tackle this, and we're looking at ways to better protect the community against cheaters, and it is like one of our highest priorities. We want to stop and make the game secure, but it just takes time. You know, to write in these processes and write in these systems to not just catch cheaters, you know, but not to catch kind of false positives and people who are playing who are just good players, you know, so it just takes time. But, you know, we're working on it actively. We even released an update today that should break some of the cheats that are out there and should make it a little bit more harder for them to get access to the game.
What does the game look like in your mind as finished and like shippable?
I would love to add more game modes and expand on the custom game feature, but for now, for me, that's Battlegrounds, you know?
The foundations to be
yeah,
solid,
that's exactly it. Like, gunplay's in, vaulting's in, you know, the circle dynamics are there. Those systems are there now and they work, you know, and we need to polish and balance weapons and balance all this kind of stuff, but that to me is kind of 1.0 when it's feature complete essentially.
There's a lot of people asking about things like dynamic weather and a nighttime map and then different new maps, so that sort of stuff in your mind comes a lot later. You just really want to perfect the final
Exactly,
product.
like we still want to add new maps. We have a desert map that we're showcasing in 1.0 later in the year, and we have another map that we have an idea to planned, and after that we don't know, but we still want to add this new content, but still just polishing off the base feature set.
Do you ever worry that one day people are just going to get over it really quickly and just suddenly it'll just drop off?
If it happens, it happens. You know, I'm not going to worry about that. You know, sure, like I think if we create a good base and continue to add new content and stuff like that, we stand a good chance of keeping the game fresh for the next number of years. But you know, if it suddenly falls out of grace, it falls out of grace. You know, there's not much I can do to stop that, right? That's the way of the internet sometimes.
So Trent from Twitter asked, I'd love to hear about an element of the game's design that you really got into or cared a lot about, because everyone has those little things.
Well, no, for me, I've been doing this for like the last 4 years. Like, this game design has evolved over 4 years of kind of me working with the Battle Royale game mode, trying things that didn't work, trying something else, and really trying to perfect what the core Battle Royale experience was. And when we were ramping up to launch for Battlegrounds, I got the question all the time in the press, what's going to make your version different? And it's like, nothing. Like, the game mode's there, you know? Like, I don't see the reason to add stuff, to change stuff. So for me, like, what's really passionate me is the loot system. Like, the way the loot system works to me is what makes Battlegrounds, because you're always searching for something else, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's never going to give you everything you want, and that's what I think is the draw of the game. That, like, too many games just give you everything and it's good, there you go, you know, go mad. We go, no, if you want a silencer, you're not going to find a silencer. You know, and if you give out the game, it'll punish you. If you curse about the red zone, it'll follow you around, I guarantee. Like, you know, it's this idea that, like, this game, like, if you don't be nice to the game will punish you, and nothing we can do about that.
What is it about it that you think? 'Cause I'm sure a lot of people would love to know. Game makers would love to know. What is it about this game that makes it so special?
I think, like, I'd love to know that too. Like, honestly, I just made a game I wanted to play. You know, this was a game mode that I enjoyed playing, and for me, I think it's a simple concept, right? It's like land, loot, survive. That's all you need to do, right? And from like my daughter to like my mother, they can understand that, right? And they can get how that game works. So I think that's the draw, that it's a simple mechanic, it's easy to understand, and there's no rules. Like, the only rule is to survive. But if you want to run around in your underwear with a frying pan and try to win that way, you're perfectly welcome to do it, but you probably won't win. But, you know, there are people that will probably do that all the time, you know? They will want to win with just a frying pan, and that's amazing. You know, the fact that our game gives people that freedom, that there's no way to play the game, it's how you want to play, and I think that's why it's successful.